We're going to do a recap now of the Doha, not Doha, what about Doha's week before, the Marrakesh Diamond League. I've actually raced since then, yesterday or the day before. I'm all over the Jeff in Marseille, but this is going to be my first time watching the race back. So it'll be interesting to see my take on it, because I've watched a small clip that the Diamond League put out, which is like a minute long, but I haven't actually watched a full race in its entirety. And I think what I've got in my head is going to be very different to what I see here. So it's going to be fascinating to see how it looks. But more importantly, yesterday I ran an 800 after having, bearing in mind, doubling my mileage, training for, when I say doubling my mileage, I went from 25, 30 a week to 50 to 60 a week over the winter. I didn't think I was going to run quick over the 8, or I didn't think I was going to run as comfortably quick as I did. And you know, I won in 144.4, but finished incredibly strong, pulled away from the pack, and some very good names like Slimane Moula, who's one of the best in the world. He won the Shanghai Diamond League. Mezian, who's on form at the moment, who's again another 143 runner who ran 144.1 early in the last Diamond League. Then there's Ghana. There was a ton of talent in that race. And I won it in quite good fashion, actually. And I kind of felt like I had a bit of a sliding door moment where I felt like I could have just carried on running. But that tends to happen when you run well. And I was a bit frustrated that I wasn't higher up the field and that I ran into them a little bit. But that will come out next week, so tune into that one because it'll be a good one. But for now, we're going to watch the Rabat Diamond League. And from what I remember, it sparked a fuel, because now it's made me want to run Oslo out of frustration. Major frustration. I didn't plan on running Oslo, but after running like a donkey in this one, from what I remember, I'm about to see a bit more, feel like I need some form of redemption. And I want to run Oslo because I want to kind of put myself in a position where I'm questioning life, or I'm questioning my own existence, because I've been feeling too comfortable in the 15s. When I ran last year, 15s used to hurt like the worst thing in the world. Whereas my last two, I've been still feeling comfortable with 200 to go, thinking that I can just, if the pace didn't pick up, I could just carry on at that same pace. Whereas last year, I was getting to 400 and it was like, man, I remember a few years ago when the track was like, it was all over the Jeff. It was like moving, it was like a sea, and I'd get lightheaded, and the next day I was absolutely pooped. Whereas now, like, I could session straight afterwards if I needed to. And I think that must be the mileage, it must be. But anyway, let's move on. We'll get to the race phase now. Let's watch it back, let's see what we think, and then take it from there. You see me do my natural slap in there. It's just branching over to the South African athlete, Mapalele. He's a great runner. You'll see, oh my God, have you seen the size difference between the two of us? Holy moly. I reckon I'm close to double his weight. Jeez Louise. Yeah, this race was a frustrating one. The plan was to, after running Doha, was to be a little bit more aggressive and actually go after it. And again, I'm coming out with the excuses and it's frustrating, but I have to highlight that we're all elite athletes operating at the highest level. We all have the same plan, but it's frustrating because the guys got out hard, and you're seeing this now. This is the first time I'm actually watching this fully back. Yeah, everyone got out like bats out of hell and didn't commit. You see the pace was starting to slow down, so I actually backed off a bit, but people didn't actually listen. And then I felt like I was in a good position here, right at this point. I felt like I was in a great position. Like, this is where I was like, okay, this is gonna be okay, I can track Habs. And then you see now, it just kind of didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. Kind of just stuck in it as you do. But I wanted to be right now in third place. That was always the plan. You'll see they start just getting swamped now. Everyone starts coming around. It's an interesting one. The first like 300 was super slow. It was too slow. Where I was just wasn't actually that bad. I think it's the second lap now where you see kind of goes, yeah, thumbs up. It's just not, it wasn't good. I actually thought I was further back than this. This is surprising me a little bit. I was convinced I was further back. I remember looking ahead and thinking that this feels too slow, we need to do it. I mean, I am pretty much at the back. Ah, okay, yeah, no, so I was further back than I thought. You'll see now. I needed to be way further up. This is just, I'm watching it and just feeling annoyed, if I'm being honest. I'm running like a donkey, not like a professional athlete. Yeah, so now I just think I'm gonna have to go. So you'll see I make my move now, and you'll see I just start pressing. I must have gone through in about 156, which is just too slow to be running quick. You need to be down to 52, 53. I lost like 4 seconds there. I actually didn't realize I was that close to Habs. I made a big rookie error there. When Habs was there, I should have stuck to him like a fly on shit, and I didn't. Okay, so 2:39 going for the bell. I mean, I was on Habs there in a great position, and this is the first time I've watched this back, and I can't explain why I didn't. Why did I allow a gap I allowed a gap there to form? That's the most stupid thing I could have done. If I just sat on him around that bend, I wouldn't have had to even try to kick. I could have just tried to hold form. It wouldn't have been it's just about squeezing them. That's a very good run from Habs. A very good run. And boom, wow. You see how I stood up before the line? Do you know the worst bit about that was that I wasn't completely pooped. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I watched that feeling crazy frustrated. That time, by the way, is actually pretty solid. I'm not sure if it said what the last lap was, but rule 101, if you can latch onto the person ahead of you and they're just squeezing, just go with it, because it's so much easier to track than it is to try and run like a free run. And the moment a 2 meter gap forms, it's so much harder than it is being right directly on him. It's such a rookie error. And you'll see myself here now. Oh man. Look, I stopped. You know what that's cost me? That's cost me, because when you got to break it down, so when head-to-heads against the Brits counts, especially when it comes to selections, because head-to-heads, they factor in when it comes to selections, like who's won more races, world ranking, current form, all of that kind of stuff. So I've lost. The main thing there I've just lost is the head-to-head. And then there's the financial ramifications. If you look at the Diamond League site, you'll see the difference between second and third, and you'll see that we're talking thousands of pounds now. And then you just think about getting second in the Diamond League. You have that forever. Some real rookie mistakes, and the frustration there is pretty high, man. Pretty high. What would I do differently? Initially, I was too far back at the start there. I need to be going through 800 at least 2 to 3 seconds quicker, because then I get 2 to 3 seconds and we're already in a 30 to 31 race. Minimum of ideally I would want to be going through 152, 153. So we're talking 3 to 4 seconds really. And then I could potentially maintain that same pace, because it wasn't a case of being pooped in the last 400, 600 or 200. It was just that my body hadn't been yet, so I was trying to squeeze, and I wasn't able to quite access it then, because I wasn't finishing a race hands on sort of knees and feeling absolutely pooped. Purely poor positioning, bad run, and not taking up close for order, because the first 10 meters or so you're using like a different system. I think it's called the ATTP, where it's like free energy. So I could have just gone bang, got out to the front, and then even if the pacemaker has to come around me afterwards, I probably should have done that looking back. And I have Oslo Diamond League coming up soon, so it is just a case of putting myself way further up. I mean, why would I even, after watching it back, it's just kind of made me want to just give myself a good slap and a clip around the ear. Do you know, that's actually quite funny. Meg actually said to me, Meg's my wife, I've been away for like just over 2 weeks at this point. And I said, like, I think I need to run Oslo. And she was like, I'm glad you said that, because you went all that way, spent over a week away from the family, and then you went and only ran 1,495 meters. So I think she wants me home, but she also wants me, if I'm going to sacrifice my time away from the family, she wants me to perform. So it was a humble awakening, I think.